Hey, this video is a walkthrough of the notoriously difficult Lion King for the Super Nintendo. Follow along and you'll be able to impress a very specific audience that may or may not exist. There are 3 difficulty levels, the main difference between them being how many lives you get per continue. There are also some enemies that take more or less hits depending on the difficulty. For this playthrough, I'm going to choose the default setting, normal. The first level is easy. As baby Simba, you have 3 moves: jump, roar, and roll. Jump with the B button, roar with the A button, and roll by pressing down while running. The roar only affects some enemies, like these porcupines. If you try to jump on their back, you'll take damage. You can flip the porcupines with a roar, or by rolling through them. You'll need to know this roll technique for a later stage, so be sure to practice it here. There are bugs to collect in every level. Most of them heal Simba, but some extend your life or roar meter, or allow you to play a bonus stage after you beat the level. The life bar extension carries over between stages. There are only 2 in the entire game, at least that I could find. They are red with yellow spots. You definitely want to get them, and one of them is on this first level. You can also find extra lives and continues. The most lives you can have is 8, so bonus lives don't appear if you're already maxed out. The blue beetle extends the roar meter. I don't find them that useful because the entire meter depletes with each roar anyway. Maybe the roar is more powerful and has improved effects, but I didn't test that out or seem to notice it. That orange and blue beetle unlocks the bonus stage. These are worth getting because bonus stages let you earn extra lives and continues. The hyenas take 2 bonks to defeat on normal. You can only jump on them while they're panting, which they'll do after making 2 attacks. You can provoke the hyenas to attack by jumping near them. Usually, they will jump towards you on the first provoked attack and jump straight up for the second. Unprovoked, they act a little differently. There are 2 types of bonus stage, where you play as either Timone or Pumba. In the first bonus stage, you play as Pumba. The goal is to swallow as many bugs as you can. The stage ends if you miss a bug or swallow a fly. You can press B to belch and clear all the bugs on the screen. Do this if you're about to miss one. Keep in mind you can only use this burp once.
I ate like a pig.
Stage 2 is all platforming and the first difficulty wall you hit in the game. I never played this as a kid, but I bet lots of children never made it past this part back in the day. The hitboxes for grabbing onto stuff are kinda wonky, and there are several parts where a single mistake is instant death. First, you'll jump across this tower of giraffes, which isn't too hard. Just be aware that if you stand on a giraffe for too long, it will dump you into the water. Next is a monkey puzzle. When you yell at the pink monkeys, they will change position. Here, you'll want to yell at both monkeys. Jump on the rhino's head and the monkeys will throw you to the next area. When you're on the ostrich, you need to dodge trees and baby rhinos. The hitbox is mostly around Simba, so the ostrich chest and legs can make contact with the rhinos a little bit. The trickiest parts here are the spots where you need to double jump. If you jump too early, you'll make the first jump but fail the second. If this happens, you jump too early. Next, we get to the hard part. Probably the most frustrating section of the entire game. When you're grabbing onto things like these tails, you don't want to hit your target with Simba's center mass while he's spinning. Instead, imagine where Simba's claws will reach out when he makes the grab. For this part, try to aim Simba's center mass around here. Positioning is what's important. You don't need to time your jump so much. To grab this hippo's face, aim the center mass around here. Next is another ostrich section. You can watch this video to know what's coming, but there's enough time to react so you don't have to memorize the obstacles to get past it. Remember not to jump too early on the double jumps. This is the final section. At first, don't yell at any monkeys and jump on the second rhino to collect an extra life. Now you can yell at the first monkey and jump on the first rhino. Yell at this guy and drop down. Run back across the logs. They will sink, so don't dilly-dally. Watch my timing. Run all the way back to the first rhino and jump on it. Jump up and yell at the monkey. This is also your chance to grab that blue bug, which triggers the bonus stage. Drop down and return to the first monkey. Yell at it again. Jump on the first rhino and you're done. In the second bonus level you play as Timone. Try to collect as many bugs as you can before time runs out, and avoid the Black Widow spiders. I recommend skipping past bugs that seem too hard to get or are too close to spiders. You will likely run out of time before you could collect every bug anyway. You start off fighting 2 hyenas that you'll need to defeat before you can progress. Don't worry too much about taking damage here, because there are healing bugs right after this. See that bug? Stay away from that bug. That's a bad bug. The bonus stage beetle is in this area. First, defeat the hyena. Next, get a running start and jump off this ledge to the left as far as you can. There it is, delicious. Now you need to swing across these bones that are floating for some reason. Aim your center mass around here, the left knob of the bone. For this bone, aim around here. Vultures take 2 hits on normal. You can jump on them or roll into them. In this section, if you jump with Simba's back to the next bone, you'll usually make it. Once you get to the top bone, jump left as far as you can for an extra life. The geyser chases you here, and you'll die if it touches you, so move as quickly as you can. If you move fast enough, the water stops rising before you reach the top. You can tell the water stopped if it stops rumbling. If you still hear the rumbling when you reach the top, don't go for that extra bug. Some of the vultures look slightly redder and take an extra hit to defeat. Sometimes, vultures will fly away off screen. If this happens, their health will reset. You can jump over and run past these 2 hyenas. There's an extra life if you bounce on this cloth. Make sure to jump from the lower right side. If you jump from higher up on the left, you'll rip through and fall. You can drop down here to collect an extra continue. You're able to get back up by jumping from underneath the bouncy tarp. This is the final area. Defeat all of the hyenas to progress. Stage 4 plays different than the others. Here, you move left and right to dodge rocks and wildebeests. If you're in front of the wildebeest during its jumping animation, you take damage. Rocks blink for about 2 seconds before you need to jump over them. When they start blinking, think Hakuna Matata and jump on the last syllable. Matata. I like to keep to the center for most of the level. Once things really start to pop off in this last section, I like to keep to the left side.
Kill him.
In this stage, coconuts constantly fall from the sky. Maybe they're rocks. I'm calling them coconuts. In any case, you can't stand in place for too long. At this point, there are 2 ways you can progress. You can drop down and roll to the left. This will grab some health and the bonus bug, so it's the path I recommend. If you go right, you'll be chased by a boulder that kills you instantly if it touches you. You need to roll through this porcupine to make it. Here you need to run from a second boulder. If you're unlucky, you might get hit by a coconut, which will slow you down just enough to doom you. There's a small chance you can still make it if a coconut should strike you here. You can jump over the boulder in this spot, but that's pretty tough to pull off. Make sure not to turn back too soon after running off this ledge or you'll grab onto it and get crushed. This last part has a lot of ledge grabbing. Use the skills you developed in Stage 2 to make it across. Remember to aim Simba's center mass right in front of the rock you're trying to grab, not over top it.
If you ever come back, we'll kill ya!
You can direct which way Simba moves down these water slides by holding left or right on the D-pad. At the start, keep right. If you've lost any health at this point, make sure to grab the bug behind this waterfall. In this part, you can find the second life extender bug. There are 2 spots you can drop down. Go to the first leftmost waterfall, then slide right, left, right, left. This part is tricky. You need to jump across these floating logs that sink if you stand on them too long. If you fail here, don't go back down the same way you did to get to the health extender. Instead, drop down the rightmost opening and keep to the right at every juncture. This brings you halfway up the waterfall you need to climb and skips the most difficult part, transitioning from the horizontal logs to the vertical logs. In this part, you need to ascend quickly to make any progress. My preferred strategy is to make use of the center stream of logs. At every other log, you can jump straight up and gain a lot of ground. Between straight up jumps, you need to move left or right before you can jump back to the center. There's an extra life at the top right if you need it. Once you reach the top, you can go left to grab a roar extender, but I don't think it's worth going for, especially if you have trouble getting up here. To progress, move right and start dropping down these gaps. If you hold the down button, you can lower the screen a bit to see where the next platform is. Eventually, you meet the coconut-slinging orangutan that we all remember from the movie. Stand about this far away and dodge the coconuts until the ape moves to slam the ground. As he does this, it's your chance to pounce on his head. Time your jump so you're in the air when the ape slams the ground or you'll take damage. Each time you strike, the monkey will change positions. After this attack, move to the right side of the screen. After this attack, grab onto the ledge and wait until the ape scurries away. If you don't manage to catch up before the orangutan starts throwing coconuts, hang on to this ledge and wait for a respite in the coconut barrage. After this attack, move to the right side. And that's it, orangutan defeated. Simba can finally grow up now. It's a metaphor for puberty, just like the original movie. Finally, we get the full powers of a lion. Big Simba has a swipe attack, press Y, that makes good work of these leopards. You can smack the little monkeys or take them down with a roar. When you get to these gateways, leopards continue to spawn until you defeat 6 of them. After that, Rafiki clears the way for you. Push forward as far as you can and spam the slash attack. In a few spots, you need to swipe vines to free these boulders. Be careful. If you touch a boulder while it's moving, you'll die. Before you release this boulder, jump on top of it so you can grab this extra continue. Usually, you want to fight the leopards like this. Once you've pushed them back, wait for them to leap out at you and strike. For this part, spamming the swipe won't work well. Time your attacks as the leopards leap at you.
You must take your place in the circle of life.
This is the most difficult level. It has some of the hardest platforming in the game and a lot of enemies to whittle away your health if you aren't careful. Oh, and lava drips from the ceiling, so proceed with caution. Remember where these bats nest. Usually there's one right after a geyser, so be ready to swipe mid-air with each jump. There are healing bugs scattered about, so you can take some damage. You'll have an easier time if you've collected the health extender bugs from previous levels. Here there are two routes you can take. The right side has 2 beetles and an extra life, which you won't see here because I already have full lives. The left side has a continue point, so go that way if you're new to this level. The next part is hard. To proceed, you need to jump on top of a geyser and swipe at the stalactite until it falls down. It will kill you if it touches you on the way down, so keep your distance. Once on this floating platform, you need to jump and kill these bats or they'll knock you into the lava. The hitbox for Simba's slash starts just past the paw animation, so the reach is a little farther than you think. Do this section quickly because you need to jump back onto the platform, which doesn't wait for you. Another boulder dash here. Be careful not to turn too soon or Simba will grab the ledge and get crushed. This part is a little easier than the previous floating platform, but you can still get knocked off if you don't move forward far enough. This is the last section, and it's not at all obvious what you're supposed to do. Mostly, you just need to stay alive, which means dodging the coconut rocks. Standing on the geysers is generally the best spot to avoid them. I recommend switching between these last two spots. Eventually, a rock will fall to plug each geyser. If that rock hits you, you'll die, so watch out for it. These rocks fall after the coconuts. The plugging rocks will progress from right to left, so you can anticipate them by checking if a previous geyser has been plugged. After the last geyser is plugged up, jump on top of it to get jettisoned to the next stage. This level has a maze of caves, which you enter by pressing up on the D-pad. Pay attention to the route I take to get to the end. After you enter a cave, you need to defeat every hyena in that area before you can progress. Finally, the final fight. Time to take down Claudius. First, you hurt Scar until he runs away. You can swipe at him, but that takes a long time. You'll deal the most damage if you jump on his head and ground pound him. You initiate the ground pound by jumping on the front third of his body and tapping Y. Scar will strike back after pushing you off, so be ready to run away when his recovery animation starts. After Scar flees, you do some platforming. These lightning fires happen throughout the level. This first one fades with time, but the others appear and disappear based on your position in the level. If you've lost any health, grab that bug. This part is actually easier than it looks. Just go for it, and it's hard to miss the grabs. You need to beat Scar until he runs away again. As before, using the ground pound technique will go faster than swiping. There's another healing bug if you jump up those ledges. Grab it if you need it. To get past this fire, you need to run through it just before it starts. Move all the way to the left, then sprint straight through to the jump. To get past this part, you need to jump on the platforms in a particular order, which I demonstrate here. This is the final fight. First, you need to weaken Scar until he starts panting. You can continuously swipe at him, but again, this takes such a long time. Once he's panting, you can throw him by moving on top of him and pressing X. Be careful. The first time Scar starts panting, he's faking. If you attempt to throw, he'll turn the tables and take all of your health. When Scar is really on the ropes, he'll start panting after every attack. Once he's truly ready to die, lure Scar to either edge and perform the throw. Simba will throw behind him, so his back should be facing the cliff when you make the maneuver.